Hey guys, welcome to Game Time. My name is JJ, and welcome to part 2 of my PlayStation 1 collection so that I can talk to you guys about some awesome PS1 games as I go through the massive collection here. I thought I'd make a double parter at the same time so that I can have a couple videos for you guys, um, I grabbed another stack. As I keep going, we will go through another 20 PS1 games. So let's start it off with a bang and go with Mega Man X4. Mega Man X4 for the PS1, the levels are awesome, but the Mega Man X games, his last bosses are always really, really, really hard. Like, yeah, I don't know about you, but for me, I always get to the last bosses of the Mega Man X series games, except for 1 and 2. 1 and 2, I can beat pretty easily. But 3 and on, for some odd freaking reason, when I get to the last boss, I get totally boned, Like, they totally, totally destroy me. So, my secret shame is that I suck at the later Mega Man X games. But Mega Man X4 is awesome. The graphics were awesome. I love the power armors that you get. Just punch in the code at the beginning, and you can start with the big giant power armor. They were awesome codes to know back in the day. It was actually a fun game to play, but I just never really beat it. Alien Trilogy for its time was phenomenal. The graphics are very, very dated on this these days. But for its time on the PC, even on the PS1, it was a cool game to have. I ordered this one a while back, nice shiny copy, so that I can have it for the collection because I have good memories of playing this on the actual computer. So SpongeBob SquarePants for the PS1. I guess they're all for the PS1. I never played it. Tell you the truth, it's in good shape. Tell you the truth there, but it's SpongeBob. We'll have to give it a shot one of these days. Buster Bros. Now this is something I used to play on the arcade quite a bit, as long with Silent and Bobber. Lots of levels, awesome gameplay. You jump around and you're trying to pop bubbles. That's it. That's all. You get different abilities that let you, you get like a multi-shot or something, and you got to burst all the bubbles in the game. It's a very fun puzzler, very addictive gameplay. Quarter, I've spent many a days pumping quarters into the arcade machine playing this game. So I was very happy to get it for the PS1 because it looks phenomenal. It looks just like the arcade. It's so much fun. Another game, if you have referenced in the last video of mine, ATV Mania. Late PS1 generation games just for the sake of games coming out. Nothing fancy, just games for the sake of games coming out at the end of the life of the PS1. NASCAR 2000, like I said, I'm not big of a racing game, but there's certain racing games, like I said before, that are worth having in your collection because they are good quality games. The NASCAR games are usually well done. So I do have a few of them. I don't play them too much. I have friends that play a lot of racing games though. Pong for the PS1. Tell you the truth, I didn't play this a whole lot. I wasn't even around during the Pong craze. I was still an unborn gamer, okay? So I didn't really get into the Pong craze even early back in the day. So when it came back out for PS1, I was like, oh, Pong, okay, sure. So I never really played it a whole lot. I'm sure it's a lot of fun with a bunch of friends just messing around and stuff. That's what a lot of old games are these days to a lot of people, is pop it in, screw around, relive your days for half an hour, and then you move on. But, there are certain games that you just never end up really playing a whole lot. Like that. One of my favorite games of all time for the PS1, just because it's Silent Hill. It's funny because it's right next to Resident Evil 2. These are both phenomenal games that I loved from back in the day. The first time I beat Resident Evil 2, I didn't even have a memory card. I had to leave my console on the whole time. But this is this is probably my favorite Resident Evil of all time. It's in great shape. Is phenomenal. Silent Hill. I can't speak highly enough about this game. The graphics are dated to now. Like you play this game, you're looking at it and you're like, wow, this game looks, it looks dated, but not as dated as you might think when you really look at the overall picture of Silent Hill. When you're looking at all the town, when you're looking at the backgrounds, when you're looking at just the atmosphere, it still holds up. It's more or less it's your character models and your enemies and stuff that don't hold up to the time just because of the polygons and and whatnot. You know, it just doesn't look as good as, you know, even Silent Hill 2. We'll get to the PS2 games down the line. But Silent Hill 1 is still worth playing if you've never played the original or experienced the original adventure, remake or not, you know, Origins or whatever. If you want to play, you know, don't rely on the movie for the storyline to be super accurate. But the original was really good for its time, and I suggest you play it if you're really looking at going through the entire series. You know, I know they canceled the new Silent Hills. We'll hope for a new Silent Hill down the line. We'll see what happens, right? What do we got here? We got Contra, Legacy of War. Contra kind of lost its way. You know, Contra should really stick to its 2D games, and they should. You know what they really need to freaking do is they need to make a 2D Contra game that's like Castlevania Symphony of the Night or Super Metroid or something, where you're exploring this giant map and you're unlocking abilities and you're unlocking weapons and doing this and doing that and you're unlocking. You know, that would be awesome. It'd be a Contravania. You know, that would be actually a phenomenal idea. Come on, Konami, do it. You know, so. What else we got? We've got Nights into Darkness, another game I didn't really try a whole lot. I got the booklet. I don't have the actual case, unfortunately. And it's a little double disc game there, but it's just another game that I haven't really had a chance to play for the PS1, so we'll have to check it out. Big Bass World Championship. I was never big on fishing games. The only fishing I really do is in my Breath of Fire games, just to tell you the truth. So Big Bass World Championship. Fish in 3D. Go fish. Blasto! This was kind of like a mascot back in the day that kind of failed. Okay, it's got a nice shiny cover. I'm guessing that's why it's so, you know, fancy. Blasto is here to save Uranus. It's kind of a quirky. If you remember Boogerman and those kinds of games back in the day, you can get away with a lot of quirky stuff back in the day. Even in old video game magazines, you can get away with quite a bit. So yeah, he's slightly warped. But you would be too if you had to be constantly slugged it out with slimy alien things. Hey, I didn't name the planet. Yes, Blasto. Soul Edge. Soul Blade, sorry, because they couldn't use Soul Edge because the guy owned the rights to Edge, I'm pretty sure. It was along those lines, which is pretty damn stupid. This box is empty. See store associate for product. Now, Soul Blade was actually a pretty good fighting game for back in the day. I didn't play a whole lot of them. I liked Tekken 2. I liked a few of the classic ones, Street Fighter EX2 Plus. But Soul Blade was actually pretty good. You play this with your friends and stuff, and it's just everybody can get lucky. How about that in this game? You know, if you're mashing buttons, you can probably win at this game. Tarzan. I haven't played it a whole lot. I got this actually pretty recently, so I haven't had a chance to really try it, but it does look actually pretty fun. You know, PS1 did do a good job with their Disney games. The animation is usually pretty good. Now, I talked in my last video about Twisted Metal 2. Bam! This is my favorite one. This is the one I played the most with my friends, and the multiplayer was just phenomenal for its time. It is just fun exploring. The cars are awesome. I love the friggin' the one. Oh, yeah. The one that freaking just grabs him, thrashes him around. It's awesome. Let Her Rip, Beyblade. It's another cartoon that I didn't really watch, so I didn't really play the game. And we have here, in my last video, I explained a little bit about the collector's edition sets that were out for the PS1. Here are all the Spyro ones. I grabbed those ones off the shelf there this time. So it's got collector's edition written at the top. They used to come in a cardboard sleeve, which I unfortunately don't have because they didn't come with them when I picked them up. But we've got, you know, Spyro, Ripto's Rage, and Year of the Dragon collector's edition games. So, you want to know something, guys? I didn't play a whole lot of Spyro. Spyro was not my thing. I didn't play a whole lot of these kinds of platformers on the PS1. When the PS2 came out, I was a big Jack and Daxter fan, but I still didn't play a whole lot. What I played on the PS1 was Crash Bandicoot, so I totally skipped over the Spyro games and I played Crash Bandicoot instead. So Crash Bandicoot 1, 2, and 3, those are my platforming games for the PS1. Spyro was not. Even though I know they're good games, I just, tell you the truth, I never played them a whole lot. So, but they're nice to have. You know, if you pick up the collector's edition one, they're a little bit harder to find. Even the originals, because they got the original artwork, they don't say collector's edition, they don't have this big white bar. You know, it depends what you're looking for when you're collecting games, right? So, last but not least, we've got Hot Wheels for the PS1. The maps are actually pretty fun. Not all PS1 game cases, you know, stand up to the test of time, as you can see as I'm going through a whole bunch of them. You try to keep your good games in good cases, you know, and you try to keep your randoms in, you know, the cases that aren't so great, right? I'm not going to go out and... Cases are expensive, man. If you want to sit there, like, let me sit here. If you want to buy cases for all your games, like protective sleeves for all your games, say, I'm just moving over here. Okay, we've got Killer Instinct here for Super Nintendo, bonus game here. If you want to buy these cases for these games so that they stay in good shape, you know, it's expensive enough. When you've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of games, just buying 10, 20 cases every payday or something like that will cost you $20, $30, $40, $50, depending on what kind of cases you're buying or whatever. It depends how you're shopping online, right? So, to protect all these PS1 games and protect all these, it takes a long time to order all these cases and everything like that. And you can just spend thousands of dollars just putting them in little plastic cases. So I can see why some people do for certain games, you know, like if you have a really, really rare game, yeah, protect it and stuff. But you know what? When you've got 500 something PS2 games, it gets expensive to really buy an individual case for every single one of your games. So I just wanted to throw that in there, right? So those are the next PS1 games that I got going. We got some more on the go for the next episode. Peace out, happy gaming, and we'll see you guys next time.